Hey there, long time no see. Welcome back to the channel with a new setup, new me in a new country, working on a new game, and a lot of new things, which we'll talk about later. For now, if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Sonali Singh, a 3D animator in games, and this is a much awaited video. Surprisingly, it's been a year to this video of mine, and back then I also gave you a task which said, what I want you to do is import this Mani rig inside your Unreal project and bring in its animation. Once you're done with that, bring in this football as a simple prop that can be used with this animation in sync like we can see in Maya. Well, you guys have waited long enough, so let's get this video started and see how to import props in Unreal and attach it to your character. First, let's open Maya and see what our scene setup looks like. I have this animation here where Manny is juggling this football. Here, I've animated the football separately, which is just a static mesh. It's not rigged, and if I select it, you can see all its keys. Now I want to showcase the incorrect method first, or I can say what mistakes an animator would make in such a scenario, and I would have done exactly the same 3 years ago. To import this scene in Unreal, I would export the character animation, export the ball animation, and then import them separately. If you want a detailed video on how to import characters and animations in Unreal, I've already covered those in a separate video, so I'll leave a link in the description below. For importing the ball, the process will be a bit different as we want it to be a static mesh. But to import animation inside UE5, it needs to be a skeletal mesh. So if I just try to import the football animation directly, it will automatically assume it to be a skeletal mesh, and if I click import, a skeleton will be generated with a single joint. The pivot of this ball will be at an offset equal to the distance from the origin in Maya. This is totally not how you should do it, but let's see why. Now I have everything in Unreal, so I'll just drag both the animations in the viewport from my collection and hit simulate. Ta-da! Works perfectly fine, like a pro. Now this is where any professional who's been working in animation or Unreal for production can point out a number of mistakes at once, such as where's the pivot point of the ball? Here on the grid? How do you rotate or adjust it? Like this? What if we have 1000 character animations in our game? Do we have to manage another 1000 animations just for the football? And what if we need to replace the football with another prop like a cube, for example? You can't, as you'll need to redo all those animations on the new prop. And here we were thinking how we rocked this task at once. But not to stress over it, I completely got you, and that's why this video is here. Now there's something that has always been there in the mannequin joint hierarchy, but you never knew it existed. And that is the IK hand gun joint. This joint right here is the solution to all your problems when it comes to attaching weapons or props. You can use this to attach your weapon and then place it accordingly in the hand. It's the same for new UE5 mannequin as well. You can find the joints here on the top. Before this, in my previous studio, we used to create a prop controller in Maya for all the characters and use it to attach our props. But when we discovered this IK hand gun joint, which has always been there, it was a life changer. Now let's go back to Maya and see what is the correct method of attaching props in Unreal. In this case, we already have the ball animated, so I'll go ahead and select the IK hand gun controller and parent it to the ball using a normal parent constraint without offset. This joint now has all the animation data of our football, so we don't need to export animations for the football anymore. There goes one problem that is fixed, and we would no longer need 1000 separate animations just for the football. So I'll simply export the character animation and import it in Unreal. I'll double click and open my animation. Here under the skeleton tree, there is our IK hand gun joint. If I select it, I can see the gizmo moving just like the ball was. So now I can just go ahead and create a socket on this bone, which we'll use to attach our prop or football in this case. Since we cannot directly tweak any bone placement in the rig without adding extra keys in the animation timeline, it's better to create a socket so that we'll have freedom to do some minor adjustments to it. For that, I'll just right click on the bone and select Add Socket. Let's go into the best practices of renaming stuff rather than leaving it to default. I'll rename this to prop socket so that we know that it's used for props. Now if you right click on the socket, down here we have an option called add preview asset, which we can use to preview our football animation. So I'll look for the football mesh and select it. Ta-da! Like a pro, for real this time. Just for clarification, this is just a preview asset and not the actual attachment. There are multiple ways to make the attachment. You can either select the prop in Outliner, drag it onto the character, and then select the join name or socket if you've created one. Or if you're working in a sequencer, you can click on this add track, go to attach, and select the character. Finally, you can select the bone or the socket name. This is how you can attach props to the character. There you go, the prop perfectly follows the joint. And with this, we also solved other problems pointed out initially, like the pivot of the ball. It's right here in the center where it should be. In case we want to attach any effects to this prop, we can easily do that because we don't have any offset now. Also, you can easily swap out the props as the animation is driven by the bone, which is independent of any prop attached. That's it. Now you know how to attach props to a character in Unreal. Easy peasy. If something is not clear, feel free to ask related questions in the comment section below. Or if you have no questions, or probably you knew about this whole thing already, maybe you can comment something like, "We are happy to see you back," or something like that. If you found this video helpful, please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Notifications can be really helpful in my case. So don't forget to smash that bell icon. And until the next time, see ya!